Well, our thing is how we work and how we operate. It must make business sense on our side.
Let me get to you because I understand that you have retired, you're 50 and 0, you walked away from the game, you made a lot of money, but you did make news sometime last year when people were talking about you returning. Now you're 43 years old, okay? I want to know where your head is at as it pertains to you.
Well, whatever reason it is they want to see you, that reason is why you. It's not that you just deserve the money because it's hard to do.
Right. I have never encountered an athlete who, number one, flaunts his wealth the way Floyd flaunts his wealth, and who, number two, is so blindly full of himself to the fault of those who did pave the way. He did acknowledge that much, so I appreciate that much.
The man who once proudly called himself the greatest is now dealing with some of the biggest problems of his career. Floyd Mayweather has become the center of a growing controversy, facing accusations of scams and claims that he could be on the brink of a major financial downfall.
I did it the hard way. You know, I'm a kid that came from poverty. I can remember being a kid living in Jersey with my mother. 7 of us living in a 1-bedroom. You know, no lights, no heat. Never cried, never complained. Just worked hard to get to where I got to in life. It's been hard.
When Floyd made the switch from Pretty Boy Floyd to Money Mayweather, his entire public image changed. He was no longer known only for his incredible boxing skills and elite defense. Instead, he branded himself as the face of luxury and success, putting more attention on his fortune and making wealth a major part of his legacy.
You want to look at guys that never got hit. Floyd went his entire career, got hit hard like 3 or 4 times. Never.
Yeah. When he fought Diego Chico Corrales, one of my favorite all-time fights, you know, because it was like there was nothing for Diego to hit, and then all of a sudden he just bounced in his face, pop, left hook from like 5 feet away. That's a Mayweather that I think nobody could possibly maybe beat.
That was the Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather. That was before he became Money Mayweather.
He transformed himself into a global brand built around money and luxury. The spotlight moved away from his legendary defensive style inside the ring and toward his extravagant lifestyle, massive fight purses, and reputation as one of the wealthiest athletes in the world.
It's just complete genius. Yes. First of all, from just changing his style, right? He broke his hands a lot. So when he was younger, they called him Pretty Boy Floyd. Yeah. And then he changed his name to Money. And when he changed his name to Money, he turned heel. Yeah. He became like this guy and everybody wanted to see him get beat. Yeah. And he's the most unhittable guy in the history of the sport.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's interesting when fighters figure out ways to do that too, like what Floyd's doing. What Floyd's doing is so interesting. He retires from fighting and he says, I'll just start boxing people who have no chance. Hey, right?
Floyd Mayweather started out making around $3 million per fight. But everything changed when he chose to leave the traditional promotional system and take control of his own career. That bold decision helped multiply his earnings, eventually making him one of the highest paid athletes in the world. By betting on himself and managing his career on his own terms, Mayweather built a financial legacy unlike anything boxing had seen before.
Floyd Mayweather was the highest paid athlete in the world, and you won't believe why. Early in his career, Floyd partnered with a fight promoter where he was making $3 million in a fight, but he wasn't satisfied. He thought he could make way more with pay-per-view and wanted out of his contract. So he bet on himself and paid his manager $750,000 to get out. And you won't believe what happened next, so drop a follow. This would prove to be a huge win for Floyd, and after going independent, he made nearly $1 billion and became the highest paid athlete in the world.
However, as Floyd's fortune grew, so did the problems in his personal life. His father revealed that they rarely had serious disagreements before Floyd became incredibly wealthy. But once the millions started rolling in, their relationship changed. Floyd's expensive spending on luxury cars, real estate, and other lavish purchases became a constant source of tension. According to his father, money has a way of changing people, and he believes that's exactly what happened.
We have never had an argument in our life, me and him. Then we had an argument on what was the name of it? HBO. You know, HBO.
Then another time we argued over by the car. I'm saying, man, what's all this about now? I'm just saying, you know, and we never had no argument. All of a sudden, it is what it is. Sometimes, you know, hey, when people get, it ain't about me training or anything like that. People get money, man. Things change. I don't care whether it's your father, mother, whoever. Father, mother, brother, sister, name it. You know, if sometimes when people get money.
As Floyd's fortune continued to grow, many believed his confidence turned into arrogance. That shift reportedly damaged several longtime friendships and strained relationships with people who had been close to him for years. Mike Tyson was one of those who publicly criticized Mayweather's attitude, saying there was nothing admirable about excessive pride. Tyson argued that Floyd needed to stay grounded and not let his enormous wealth inflate his ego.
How do you feel about Floyd, though? How do you feel about
Awesome fighter, great fighter. You know, he's a little too into himself. You know, he should be. I was the same way too, but you have to come to reality some way. You have to bring your head down the guard. We're nothing to be fucking arrogant. You expect us to be ignorant and arrogant. Look where we came from.
That's why I asked the question earlier about you mentoring fighters, because I feel like Floyd looked at you growing up like every other fighter. And the persona and the lifestyle was like, growing up in the hood, we looked at it like, that's Mike Tyson. We see the cars, the jewelry, the flair. Like, you was a movie star. You was a hero.
Floyd's friendship with rapper 50 Cent was once considered one of the strongest relationships in the entertainment world. But as Mayweather's wealth continued to grow, their bond began to fall apart. According to 50 Cent, Floyd became completely consumed by money. He even claimed that Floyd told him he never needed his help, despite everything they had been through together. Many believe their falling out was driven by Floyd's focus on wealth, leaving behind both his legacy and the people who stood by him from the start.
Sitting there going, yo, who you gonna give me the money?
Because you're already invested.
Right, like when you give me your half of the money back. But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail. Right. So it's like, let him cool his heels before you.
Was that in the millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's sitting there, big, and I'm like, yo, so when the fighters are an asset in themselves. They are that talent, regardless. You know, so I'm looking at him going, so there's no pressure there, but I'm saying, when is he gonna say he wants to, to give me the other half of it? Why I gotta ask you for it?
Right.
And then when
are we talking over $2 million?
It's about that.
Oh, okay.
At that point, it was, invested in.
All right.
So look, he goes, when he finally does bring up the actual the situation, he acted like he didn't know anything. Like, I didn't tell y'all to do that. I didn't tell you to do that.
He said something to me one time, very simple. He said, what a prize fighter fight for? And I'm like, and he said, the prize. So it's okay for you to watch the fight. Don't nobody watch Floyd fight to see how amazing he is. They watch it for the opportunity to see him lose.
Right.
Because they don't like him. They don't like him because everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. There's no... The people's champ, like Ali was standing for the same things.
Right.
The audience was standing for. He doesn't have any of that. It's just money. You know what I'm saying? And that, he knows you don't like him.
Floyd also parted ways with one of his brightest boxing stars, Gervonta "Tank" Davis, who eventually felt he was being taken advantage of. Tank claimed that Floyd always kept him in a position where he had to depend on him. Despite the success and money Davis generated through his fights, he believed he wasn't being paid fairly. Those frustrations ultimately led Tank to end his relationship with Mayweather.
Or I'm gonna be back asking you for money. Nah, why would I do that? I give her a couple dollars. I take some, whatever. Whenever you need some money, you feel me? But when I was legit to be able to get out the hood, that's what I did. Like, I had to learn that coming up there, like, a motherfucker will put you in a position to always need him. And like, to the world, it might look like that's a great person. But like, to somebody understand, you understand like what Kendrick Lamar say? Nah, that's a master manipulator. Like, cause if I gotta put you in a position that always need me, I'm gonna just give you crumbs. And we hear it a lot. Like if I'm what's $1,000? You know what I'm trying to say? But to you who don't have it, it's a lot. And I know you gonna go to war for that $1,000. So me understanding that $48 of plot power, I'ma always feed you a little bit so you can be excited and do just enough to come back around. But I ain't really just put me in a position to be able to, you know, make my own thing. And I don't want to say no name, but they wind up catching it. The people that's over top of me, I mean, like, I was signed to him and Floyd signed to him. So the person that, he said, okay, cool, I see what's going on. That's when he started taking over my career.
Tank also claimed that Floyd struggled whenever someone looked ready to surpass him. According to Davis, Mayweather became jealous of fighters who earned more money or received greater praise. Tank even pointed to Floyd's comments suggesting that Muhammad Ali wasn't greater than him, saying they reflected how competitive and protective Floyd had become about his own legacy.
I'm going to say this. Out of all these guys in the history of boxing, I've accomplished more than every fighter in the history of boxing.
Okay, Ali.
Is Ali the same fighter that got beat by a fighter with 7 fights? Leon Spinks beat Muhammad Ali when he only had 7 fights.
Yes.
And if we really tell the truth,
well, that's what you're here for. You're here to tell the truth.
What's the heavyweight guy that Ali fought 3 times? Ken Norton, actually. Ken Norton really beat Ali all 3 times. Go back and look at the fights. I mean, we just telling the truth. And I love Ali, of course.
Mayweather's confidence didn't just affect his personal relationships. He also made headlines by constantly showing off his wealth, which caused many fans to turn against him. His extravagant lifestyle and controversial statements made him one of boxing's most polarizing figures. By repeatedly insisting that he was the greatest no matter what others accomplished, Floyd only added to the criticism and negative perception surrounding his image.
In all of my career, I have never encountered an athlete who, number one, flaunts his wealth the way Floyd flaunts his wealth, and who, number two, is so blindly full of himself to the fault of those who did pave the way. He did acknowledge that much, so I appreciate that much. But the way he just blithely scoffed at Ali's accomplishments, it wasn't just disrespectful, Stephen A. Smith. It was flat out blasphemous. Now, to your credit, you did go back at him. You can't. Okay, and to Floyd's credit, you know what? Early in Ali's career, he did get dropped. Not by Burt Cooper, by Henry Cooper in London. He fought him twice in London. And he did get dropped, and he got right back up and won the fight.
That wraps up today's video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to stay tuned for the next one.